Monster Eddie Cohen custom cue, just in from the Super Billiards Expo up in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. This gorgeous Eddie Cohen was on display at the Super Billiards Expo. We want to thank our good friend, Mr. Eddie Cohen, the West Coast Cuemaker from out in California, for allowing us to get our hands on this beautiful creation right here. This cue is truly a monster. Other people would say it's a very big cue. Just to teach a few of you out there that are new to the world of pool cues, we don't say it's a big cue because it's an oversized cue. So first of all, this is a standard size cue, 58 inches, meaning that the butt of the cue is 29 and the shafts are 29. The reason I call it a big cue or a monster cue, it's because of the amount of work that went into creating this cue. There is so much that I want to point out to you, but a few things. Number one, these are ebony, very sharp, very long, bridged points, okay? There's a lot of advanced craftsmanship that went into the construction of this cue. So first of all, you notice how the points are bridged right there. By the way, the forearm is highly figured Birdseye Maple. Eddie makes a great playing cue with Birdseye Maple. He uses ebony, he uses other woods, but he tends to make a lot of these monster cues with the lighter wood up front. There's a couple reasons for that. Number one, it's really good for playability. Birdseye has a really good hit to it. It's really good aesthetically because when you take a darker wood such as the ebony going into the Birdseye, you really have points and veneers that really pop, okay? So the other thing about it, Birdseye is a great wood that you can use not only for the hit, it's very consistent. This one is also cord as well. And then you also have a Juma joint. But the other thing about Birdseye, it's not going to be too heavy up front either. So the thing is, this cue is a 14.7 ounce on the butt. Nice forward balance. You could add weight, but it's also very hard to take weight away. So easy to add and hard to take away. Just like us when we gain a few pounds. It's not easy to burn it off, but it's easy to put it on. So the amount of work in this cue, besides the bridge points, I want you to notice how fancy and how in-depth these rings are, okay? So I'm gonna start with the joint, okay? Actually, if I started with one shaft, you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 position ring work. If you don't count the shaft, you have 4. What you're looking at, this is not something that a novice cue maker is gonna be able to execute, and I'm gonna spin that under the light. Pay very close attention as I'm spinning the cue to the rings right here, okay? What you have, that is Paua shell. They got to go all the way to New Zealand to source stuff like this. It's also known as New Zealand Abalone. So again, Paua shell or New Zealand Abalone. This stuff is jewelry or art quality, okay? So when you get it and it's this high quality, I'm going to show you again just like this. It's used in high-end jewelry, high-end art, and of course, high-end pool cues. So as I go down the cue, notice how many individual Paua shell and the white is Juma inlays are just in the rings alone. I mean, it's just a smorgasbord. You also have a large white Juma inlay in each point, and then 2 individual Paua shell inlays below each of the spearheads, and on and on and on. Look at that point work though. Beautiful. Juma, I'm sorry, the joint, if I said Juma, I was mistaken. That is a Tomahawk joint, by the way. I did say Juma in another video. Tomahawk is very similar to Juma. Eddie likes it, and I know why. It has a very nice, solid, and commanding hit to it, but it's not too hard, not too soft. This is also a 3/8-10 modified pin. I'm going to spin this cue one time for you, and I want you to notice how this stuff really shines when you spin the cue under the lights. There's some high quality pictures on our website, crossroadcues.com. That is a wild Scotch wrap. I want to give a shout out to our good friend, Mr. Martin Bick at Superior Cues. Tell him you've seen this video on crossroadcues.com. Martin makes some really, really, really good wraps. Okay, now on the bottom of the cue, or the base of the cue right here, or the butt sleeve of the cue, so I gave you a few different ways to describe the bottom of the cue there. Again, most commonly referred to as the butt sleeve of the cue. You have a highly figured birdseye. You have 4 additional ebony windows that are veneered windows. Of course, everything on a Cohen cue from the bottom to the top, or you can say the rooter to the tutor, as they say, right, down south. Everything is going to line up perfectly, starting at the bottom with that Cohen Cues logo and then going all the way through the inlays, all the way through to the pin, because he is a master craftsman. Eddie's been winning a lot of awards and also placing very, very high in cue competitions among some of the greatest cue makers in the industry today. Take a look down here. Again, you have the ebony windows that are also inlaid with Juma and the Paua shell inside of them. You've got large inlays, and then, of course, he finishes the cue very tastefully with that ring work at the bottom as well. I'm going to spin the cue one more time so you can get a perspective on how nice that looks. Hey, besides all these aesthetics, by the way, if you have not played with a Cohen cue, you need to get your hands on one. They play great. That's the most important thing to these guys. Eddie trained under Ariel Carmelli. He learned from the master himself, and then Eddie went off on his own, and he again has been awarded continually and celebrated as one of the best cue makers in the world today. We had the pleasure of hanging out with Eddie at the Super Billiards Expo. Thank you again for creating this beautiful cue. You've got 2 3.8 ounce maple shafts. He's really good about being systematic and precise when it comes to keeping the weights and the balances really good. 3.8, 13 millimeter Juma ferrules, Kamui medium tips, Juma butt. I'm sorry, I take that back. I keep saying Juma. Tomahawk ferrules, Tomahawk butt sleeve, and Tomahawk joint. Glad that I caught myself that time. The Juma is in the inlays. Okay, so again, Juma inlays, Juma inside of the ring work along with the abalone, and then again you have Tomahawk on the butt, Tomahawk at the joint, and then on the ferrules. So Eddie Cohen, very, very big cue. There's no telling how many individual inlays are in this cue, but there is a whole bunch of them. I want to remind everybody that if you were to order a cue from Eddie Cohen such as this, the current wait time is approximately 4 years right now. He's in high demand. You can get this one right now at crossroadcues.com. If you don't want to pay for it in full, check out our financing options where you can get as low as 0% financing. Worldwide shipping available. crossroadcues.com.